And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're plugging into this beautiful Real Talk. I've got Kim Broemer, Perth, Western Australia. Are you there, Kim?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am. Unbelievable. The beautiful blue sky here in Perth, Western Australia.
Unbelievable. Blue skies, 8 a.m., Perth, Western Australia. We've got a chilly morning in Melbourne. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. I couldn't believe it. I've got I'm up. And now I'm up, and what am I going to do at 4 o'clock in the morning? So I'm 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm up, and I'm up and at it. So beautiful Saturday, the 18th of May. We've just got back from an incredible extravaganza. We've had a couple of things going on, and we're moving into an LDW weekend here in Australia and New Zealand. Hello, Malaysia on the line. Lovely to have you. Paul, welcome back to Herbalife. It's lovely to see you back on board. Karen, doing your hair there. Lovely to see you. And Craig Morrison, surrounded by kids. The Shahadas are plugging into the line, and Gresh is ripped. Katie has her feet on the ground. She's not up in the air flying. So welcome, Katie. Lovely to see you grounded. And hopefully soon you'll be up and away on a beautiful. Oh God, that was before your time, was it? Was that Ansett? Do you ever do Ansett? No, you didn't do Ansett, did you?
No, I did apply, but I was too young.
You
to
were
be
too
21 back
young.
then.
God, you were too young. Kim, remember we used to get on planes and there used to be people smoking in the seats in front of us? And I'm thinking, oh my God, how do people smoke on planes? And you think, please don't put me in the smoking section. Please don't smoke. And the smoke used to just drift. Do you remember those days, Kim?
Yes, I do. I was one of them.
Oh no, I knew you were going to say that. Oh my goodness. Listen, if you've got your camera available to turn on, please turn it on, because you never know, I might call on you. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter where you are. We're all a family, so if you're at home doing the dishes or you're doing whatever you're doing, just turn on your camera so we can talk to you. A couple of things we're going to cover today, which is going to be really, really interesting. And Kim, as always, I've got no idea what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about some stuff, and then we'll go around the grounds to get some feelings to what we're going to talk about. This is an important part of our week. This is real talk. This is authentic. This is where we get down and dirty. This is where we get up close and personal. This is where we cry. This is where we laugh. This is where we say, I'm frustrated, irritated, aggravated, but we move forward to where we want to go in life. Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, fantastic. Start your notes by saying this: don't believe everything you think. Did you know that having a thought is a creative, innovative, fantastic thing to do? It's to have a thought about something. But the biggest destructive thing in life, as far as I'm concerned, is actually thinking about something. Thinking is destructive. Thoughts are creative. When you have a thought and then actually act, you're probably moving forward to where you want to go. You're probably in action, creating something to get to where you want to go. Often we have thoughts about, I want to get rich. And then we start thinking about it. And we have, Kim, I'll go to you in a minute. Oh my goodness, maybe tomorrow. Right? It's too hard. It's too cold outside. I'm not worthy. And you start self-sabotaging your life through thinking about things. Your initial thought is creative. Your thinking about things is destructive. So think about this, guys, for 1 second. Behind every thought, there's a sponsoring thought. And sometimes if you listen to those sponsoring thoughts, the thought behind the thought, the thinking behind the thought, then that's usually when you trip yourselves up. So sometimes you've got these great ideas. I'm going to do this. And tragically, if you don't act on it, impulsively, through intuition, because you know it's the right thing to do. Tragically, if you don't move quickly on that thought, your thinking starts bringing you back down to a safety house, a safety zone. Because as humans, Kim, we just like to be cuddled and we just like to be safe. We just like to be put in cotton wool. And sometimes we're too scared to do things. Over to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's part of our nature. I think I've spoken about it before that it's in our DNA because of the past when we were sort of, first of all coming out into the dinosaur era and, saber-toothed tiger. And we couldn't go and just pat him on the head, saber-toothed tiger, because he would want to eat us. So we needed to have this mechanism to, to help us survive. So we have that. I sort of liken it to, what you're talking about is, having a thought, and then you've got like two parts of your brain. Then you've got this part of the brain, which is the prover, and all of a sudden you go, yeah, I want to get rich. I want to get rich. And then the prover goes, okay, well, I better go check out. And he's checking out all your past thoughts, all your past actions, all your self-image, everything else. And he comes back and goes, no, you can't. So, you can actually change that subconscious part because the mind does not know the difference between imagined thought and reality. So you can change that with, affirmations, associations, those sort of things, and community. And that's what, why we're here today in community. We can actually start to change those. So the prover goes out and goes, oh yeah, okay. Well, no, he's been able to do that before because it's a imagined thought.
So there's a difference, Kim, between pain and suffering. Okay, sometimes we put ourselves in situations where we believe we're in pain. My life's painful, or my heart's broken, or, I'm injured and I'm in pain and I can't do this, my foot hurts, or whatever, I've got a headache, I'm in pain. And we can choose to acknowledge that pain, but we don't need to sit in suffering for things that are going on in our life. And I think we've got to really understand that, pain and suffering are two different spectrums. They're two different emotions. You cannot combine them. You cannot have two emotions going on in your life at exactly the same time. Okay, so one thing I think we've got to do is moving forward is to understand the paradigm shift between the two. Okay, something's painful has happened to me, but I don't need to suffer as a result of that. It could be painful for me to go out and get to gym in the morning, but I don't need to suffer as a result of going to get there. Okay, pain and suffering are two different things. Let's just try and draw a line in the sand for things that we've been holding on to for too long, that are holding us back because we just dwell in that place of what I call spinning your wheels on the runway. Stuck in that loop, stuck in a pattern, stuck in the familiar known, scared to break free to say, I don't do this anymore. Okay, I don't need to feel this way anymore. In fact, I've broken it down, Kim. And, I was thinking about as I was going to the kitchen this morning and getting into the kitchen, making my food, I'm thinking, gee whiz, Wayne, you're coming up to your 40th year of Herbalife next year. 40 years of doing this, 40 years of working with people around the world, 40 years of mentoring people, hearing people's problems, listening to people's excuses, listening to your own excuses, wondering what's going to happen with someone's future, wondering what's going to happen with your own future, watching your kids grow up, unfortunately watching some people, pass on. We all have that experience. And one thing that I do know about life is, unfortunately, there's going to be our ups and downs in life. There's going to be some good times and there's going to be some bad times. And there's going to be, I think, for all of us as humans, some really anxious times. But we don't have to suffer in those anxious times. And we don't have to suffer in our hearts about how we feel about ourselves. I'm going to just, hopefully make this make sense to you from my experience. And again, everything that I'm telling you is not coming from any psychological degrees. It's just experience and the books that I've read, the people that I've met, and things that have happened in my life. Love. I want you to write that down. Love. Love. I've just come to this realization, and it's been around for a long time, but maybe I've just never realized it. Most people's anxieties, most people's problems, most people's fears in life come from a lack of love in their lives. And I want you to write this down. There's a lack of love in most people's lives that cause them not to live the way that they want to live, not to live the life they want to have. And let's just define what love is from my point of view. You ready for this? Could be, I'm not feeling love in my home. I'm walking around and I'm thinking there's no love in my home. Okay, there's no intimacy, there's no, hey, I'm home, and the dog's tail's wagging and everyone's happy to see you. No, okay, you just walk in the front door and they go, well, he's home. Okay, well, there's a lack of love in the air. Maybe some of you are feeling that. Maybe there's a lack of love at work for those of you who are still at work, and there's a lack of appreciation for who you are. Okay, now I'm not saying you have to walk in every room and everyone's going to stop and bow and say, oh, he's in the room. Okay, I'm not saying that, but maybe sometimes you're feeling that. Don't they know who I am? Don't they know what I've done for them? God, I should be respected more for the efforts and the time that I've put in. My children, my family, my colleagues. Oh, my goodness gracious me. I should be loved. But the common denominator is this, guys. The root of all anxiety is the lack of love you have for yourself. And I want you to write this down. How much do I love myself? Because if you love yourself more than you love anything else, nothing's going to get in your way. If you respect yourself more than others respect you, nothing's going to get in your way. Because you've got to be comfortable with who you are in your own skin first and foremost. So you don't have to draw your umbilical cord from the external things that are out there, the material things that we buy to make ourselves feel good. The impulsive, I've got to buy that, it's going to make me feel good. You get it, and 5 minutes later you go, well, I got that. Don't feel any better because I bought it. It's an impulsive buy. It's got to be you walking around feeling good to be on planet Earth. Hands up if you know where I'm going with this. Does anyone know where I'm going with this? Does everyone feel this? I need to feel good about me. Now, here's the question going around the grounds. I'm going to go, Kimmy Broemer. How good do you feel about yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Or sometimes do you feel I'm just not where I should be? And does that come with me on this track? Does that lower your self-esteem to, I can't be bothered doing a few things because I don't feel good about myself?
Yes, yeah. Sometimes when I get a prospect that just doesn't see it, I then go, it must be me. I'm not, maybe I'm not showing it enough, and I then start to lower myself, down. I start to think that on that love part. I've always had that in my life because I had a Greek mother, so she used to love her son to death. But yeah, there are different times that we go through, and we don't feel good about ourselves, and then we don't go and do the things that we need to be doing that are necessary.
It's hard to feel unconditional love in the moment And I think, to break it down, that if you get the big scheme of things and look at the big picture, you'll always be able to put arrows in your own heart. But I think if you're in the now, you're in the present, you say, how lucky am I? How grateful am I to be where I am? And you love yourself for where you're at right now, you can overcome some of these anxieties really quickly. But I think it's so important to really in life be one, and I want you to write this down because this is going to make your life so much easier. It's made my life a little bit easier. I continually work on this every day. Feeling 100% secure about yourself. That you don't have to worry about yourself so you can worry about others. Could you imagine walking in a space where you're 100% sure where you're going? You are 100% sure that you're looking good in your own mind. I'm walking outside and you go, I know I'm looking good. I'm feeling good about who I am. Oh, look, I can feel some eyes staring at me. Hey, I know that when I'm walking around, I'm smiling at people and they're smiling back. You've got that presence. And that's something that you need to work on constantly and vibrate at a high level. If you can get to that space, when I'm trying to get you to understand where you're not self-conscious about who you are. And a lot of people go through their life and they're scared to walk outside because they go, geez, I don't really feel good in my clothes and I just don't really feel good with my hair, my face, whatever. And they're too busy being so self-conscious that they can't forget about themselves and enjoy life. Does anyone know what I'm feeling here? Does someone feel that? I see a few people nodding here. Katie, I might go to you. How, do you walk outside sometimes? Do we all go outside sometimes and we go, oh, I'm so self-conscious about myself that I find it difficult to move forward?
Yeah, 100%. I do feel though, the older I've gotten though, Wayne, the more confident and the more less caring of others. I don't know if that just comes with life experience.
Yeah.
I'm more honest and open with other people.
Yeah, when you say less caring of others, let's clarify this because I think I know what you're saying. You care less about what other people think.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I don't mean as in I don't care about other people. Yes, sorry. Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
I mean as in, yeah, my self-conscious thoughts of what people think of me, I don't care what they think of me, because I do believe that the more I work on myself every day and be around this community and build myself up, and it is a work in progress, as you say. So it's the muscle that you have to work every day to continue to feel that good feeling inside. Because yeah, there's days where I do wake up where I don't feel good. And yeah, sometimes work does do that to me because sometimes, working on an aircraft with lots of people that are just, you watch them and they're like, a lot of them aren't happy. And I think, yeah, the awareness around that, you're just like, oh, I'm actually in a really good place and I should be grateful for where I am.
Yeah, I think we're it's well said, Kate. And I think we're very, very fortunate. And I want everyone who's watched on this call live and perhaps going to watch the recording of this call to understand that we're so lucky. I mean, we are just so, so lucky to be involved, not only in our small little pinprick of a community called Healthy Living International, but in the grander schemes of our, huge organization, Herbalife. How lucky we are and what we've got actually access to on a local, national, and international level with the people that we want to gravitate to. And, again, Kim, myself, Karen, and some people who have been around the business for a long time will know that you will make lifelong friends, associations in this company like you've never experienced before. I'm going to go to you, Kimmy, in Malaysia, because you've been with us for now a couple of years. And I know that you're making friends, like you're saying, Wayne, I've got friends now that I never even knew I had. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And people from all over Malaysia, all over the world actually, and friends that I have now, some of them have become our mentor locally over here. So we're really grateful that we found this opportunity. Yeah.
And I witnessed it when I'm in Thailand, and Karen comes up to me and she goes, "Why? I want to go meet Kimmy and Farhana. Where are they? They're in the room. We've got to meet our international community at one of our international events." And it was great, Karen, when you finally got to meet Kimmy and Farhan. And just tell us that feeling. I know you've made a lot of friends in our business as well.
Yeah, it was really cute. And it was, I think you videoed it. It was like I was running up a field of daisies doing a big hug with Kimmy. It's like I already knew him, but it was the first time I was meeting him face to face. So it was really sweet. It was a bit of a 5-minute quick hello, how are you? And finally got my arms on you. It's nice to see you in person and touch you. But it is really sweet. And we do make lifelong friends in this business. And this is just something I personally believe. Only nice people last in this company.
Yeah, it's so true. And nice people, to do the work that we do and to help the people that we help, you have to be a nice person. And I know Kim Broemer and I do a number of conversations, and I say these are some of the characteristics that you've got to have. You've got to be nice. And if you're not nice, you're not going to make with us. So write this down in your notes. I want you to know that you have a superpower over you. A superpower that allows you to get rid of your self-doubt, your anxieties, your self-sabotage. And I think it's also important to have, to know that you've got a radiating superpower umbrellaing you that gets rid of some of the uncertainties that you might have. And that's a really, really important one to write down. I'm not certain about a few things, but the superpower allows me, without really knowing what I've got the answer to, I know I can come back to the source and plug into the system, and I know I can ask the question to get the answer. So you've got to understand we're in safe hands. There is a degree of uncertainty, but not knowing is no excuse not to move forward, because we have a superpower to say you'll be okay. And I want to give you that confidence to say that is an anxiety and a stress you don't need to have with you. You're in safe hands. Kim, how true is it that over the years that if you just plug in, if you just show up, something's going to say, there's the answer to what I'm looking for?
Look, yeah, absolutely. And that part of association is really the biggest key. It's, just keep on hanging around, just keep on being there. It's one of those things that I feel the luckiest being a part of this community, because, we've got people that, in every other industry, everybody's trying to stab you in the back. But in here, in our community, everybody's trying to help everybody else achieve the things that they want to achieve. So we're really lucky in that regard.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. It's so true. And people only come to appreciate this later. Sometimes when people leave and they come back and they go, oh my God, I've lost that feeling of what Herbalife's about. But when you plug in, when you've got momentum and when you've got activity happening and when everything happens, it's just such a warm and cozy feeling, because like-minded people linking arms, working together with the same common goal, the same common purpose, in the same direction, trying to qualify for the same things, attending the events together. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like momentum moving together. So I want you to write this down. It's so important to write this down, because I want to go back to what I started. It's not bad what you're thinking about that's causing suffering. It's not bad that if you thought in what you're thinking about, it's bad that after the thought, you keep thinking about that thought is going to cause the problem. Because a lot of us come to events, a lot of us, write down our goals, Kim. We write down our 20 goals, write down your 20 goals. If time and money and, was no object, whatever your thoughts are, write them down. And that's a good thing. Now, what's bad? You start thinking about all these things that you've written down is a bad thing. Do you understand the difference between a thought and now thinking about the thought? So, Kim Broemer, I want to go to you because you've said this and I need you to elaborate it. Once you've got the thoughts and the vision board, and you've got your thoughts down on paper, you say, quote, unquote, just put it away. Stop thinking about it and now do something about it. Is that where you're at with this?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things you've got to put it, it's like vision boards and all those things. Once you've got it set and you've got it written down, put it away. Because if you keep on looking at it, you're actually confirming that you don't have. So you're in lack thinking. You've got that, I don't have yet, I don't have. So therefore you're in lack thinking. It's and by the way, this is personal development, and that's what I'm calling this, the ability to overcome your roadblocks and obstacles. And what we're doing here today, it's a continual process. You've got to continually work on yourself. You think that I'm okay, being a 3-diamond president team member. Hey, I walked into extravaganza, going, oh, hang on, I better wear a jacket because I've got a little bit of a roll around my, I don't want to look too, I'm supposed to be, 33 years, I'm supposed to be the product of the, I probably should be a little bit slimmer than I am. So I'm still working on myself. And even after I came back, I'm really excited. I've lost 1.3 kilos this week. So yes, but we've got the answer. We've got the answer for how we look. We've got the answer of where we want to be with this business opportunity. And yet, some of us still, we still have to continually work on ourselves, continually.
Let's talk about, guys. So again, the thinking and the thought, and let's talk about as human beings, as part of our community, that we're driven, we've got our goals. Let's talk about the difference now, and I want you to write this down, between being inspired to get there and being desperate to get there. Okay, there is definitely a difference between inspiration and desperation. Okay, and both of those things, Kim, as we know, can actually get you there. You can be, moving towards your goal through desperation. Okay, or you can move towards your goals because you're inspired to get there. Now, I've often thought about this, and I want to discuss it with us now on the Zoom. I don't like desperation. Some people say, I'm desperate to get there. Well, no, just don't be so desperate to get there. Why don't you just be inspired to get there? Because it creates a different energy. Being inspired is a different emotion because it's a purposeful emotion. A desperation to get somewhere creates a different energy where you'll do whatever it takes. And sometimes you radiate, and that person's seriously desperate. They're selling me, and it comes across that if you do this, it's good for me because I need to get somewhere because I'm desperate. And I want you to understand, a lot of people that will get attracted to your business, the good people will get attracted to your business because they're inspired to do something. So you need to write down in your brains and on a piece of paper, am I desperate or am I inspired? If you're desperate, I need you to cross that bridge to be inspired. None of us, I don't believe, on this call, none of us, I've never worked with anyone, and Kim maybe have worked with some people in Indonesia that have been so desperate to get there that they'll do whatever it takes. But I know that in their hearts, they're inspired by the mission and the cause very quickly. They jump the bridge to say, I'm over my desperation and I'm now doing this because it's my calling. It's my purpose. It's because I'm born to do this. And I think to get to the president's team level, to become a 15K, 20K, 30K, I promise you, money sometimes is not the thing that drives us. And if money continually drives you, it will continually hold you back. Money is not going to matter at a certain level. And you've got to get to the point where the money doesn't matter anymore, but I just truly want to help people improve the way they look and the way they feel about themselves. And therefore, you're attracting the right people. Kim, just come with me on. Does that make sense? Am I saying that correctly, or am I fluffing it around a little bit? Because I know it's a little bridge that you have to cross.
Yeah, the only thing is with inspiration, you have to continually work on it, because you can be inspired, but if the law of diminishing intent normally gets us, and we slide. It's like everybody coming back from extravaganza, got all the information, got inspired, come back, and if they don't start putting some of those things into action, it starts to slide.
And my argument to you there is they're not inspired. They may be motivated for a minute, but an inspiration is something that you just do because it's just you.
Well, then that's I suppose the mission that's bigger than you.
100%.
Yeah, that's 100%. That. And there's a point where you get there. Initially, when we first get in this business, I mean, I was desperate. So desperation created a lot of different things. I didn't get to that point of, I knew in myself, that I had to act, be careful not to show the dollar signs in my eyes when I'm talking to a prospect or somebody, because they can see that. So I've got to be like a gambler that's playing poker that can bluff, like, I don't really need you. I got more money than anything else, so that I could, get through that process. But you don't really get to that point of caring more about other people than yourself until later. And that's the key. That's the part that to the direct effect that you can help other people get what they want, you'll get much, much more.
Yeah, and that's an important thing, guys, that even though we might start from a place of desperation, this is a hard pill for a lot of people to digest. Wayne, you don't understand. I desperately need the money. And I'm saying I understand that. But I'm saying exactly what Kim says. If, you can get whatever you want if you help enough people get what they want. So it's a funny game to play to say, hey, listen, if I help you get what you want, solve your problems, put money in your pocket, help you lose weight, help you make money, I'll get what I want. The trick is, guys, help hundreds of people get what they want. And your job is taken care of. Jim Rohn would say the following, and I want you to write this down because we don't get this. We lose this. Find a way to serve the many, and that is your road to riches. Unfortunately, we find in our lives, I'm just looking for one person. I'm just looking for the one. I'm just looking if I just get the one person. Well, on your road to, how you get that one person? When you're serving so many people, one will show up. And it's so important to understand that we need to go through the numbers to find the one who sees it. And I promise you this I will promise you, when you find the one, you don't have to do anything. They just see it and they just go do it because they're the one. You know what I mean? My diamonds, Kim, your diamonds, I mean, really, you help them, you tool them up, you put them into the system, and then what do? You get out of the way because they know what to do and they're going to build their organizations.
It's a fine line. Some people only need 30 days. Some people need 90 days, but you don't need any more than that. You know, like my whole goal with somebody is I'm one of those people. I'm looking for the one. You know, I do say that. I'm looking for two actually. But so I'm looking for those two key people. But I know to find them, it's the 80-20 rule. I've got to go and find 5 to find the one. So, you know, I know that I've got to go through that process because I can't make them do anything. It's them. So I've got to go through that process. And when I say, when they become the one, they're the one is the one that's done their 20 goals. The one that goes, okay, I've got 3 of my best friends. Can we see them tomorrow? And I'm, you know, so I'm doing the tell, show, try, do, and driving that first part of that volume to get into the position of supervisor, and preferably in a line with those 3 friends or whatever it is. Now, that in itself, that 1 month, maybe take 2, but maybe that 1 to 2 months to get you to that position, and then it's well team. For me, it's like I've got to get some supervisors underneath them. I've got to work underneath them. I go down underneath there so that I solidify that business. So I've got to be careful that I'm not continually recruiting and forgetting this guy over here. It's a little bit of a balance, okay? But you know, you still got to get the new ones in. But the thing that we're lucky about is the 80-20 rule, because you know you can get him in because the one will be the one that will be asking you more. Will be saying, "Hey, listen, how do I do this? How do I go?" You know. And the one that's calling you up more, the one that's yeah.
Guys, I want to get clicks. I want to try and say this properly because I want to make sure that you guys get some value from this call. Real talk. Let's go back. Go back, and I'm going to try and say it again. Inspiration and desperation can't coexist as emotions simultaneously. You're either desperate or you're inspired. Sometimes you can fluctuate between the two, but they can't exist in the same present moment. You're either inspired to do something or you're desperate to do something. You're either going to be driven by one of those emotions because they cannot exist together. So important to understand. Now, I'm going to make sure you're very clear about what I'm going to say next. If you persist and act towards your goals with the emotion of desperation, that's a fear-based emotion. Desperation, write this down, is fear-based that causes anxiety. It causes stress. If I don't do this, I'm so desperate for this to happen. If I don't move, if you don't buy, if you don't register, if you don't purchase, that feeling, that desperate feeling causes stress in you and you radiate it. Okay? My sponsor, and Kim and I experienced this the other day, we do some recruiting calls together. My sponsor said this, he was inspired by his goals. He knew he wanted to make $100,000 a month and no one was going to get in his way. He knew the cars, the houses, the lifestyle, the royalty income, the position in the marketing plan, and he wasn't desperate to get there. He was inspired to get there, and his emotion was, Wayne, get on my train or get off my tracks. I'm going to the top. Now, that's not him desperately saying, Wayne, you're really good. You'd be a fantastic asset. You're cut for this, Wayne. It was like a 2-minute presentation. Join me or don't join me. I don't care. I'm going there with or without you. He was inspired to achieve his goals. Does this make sense to you? I need everyone to now understand this. Are you acting from a place of desperation? I know a lot of you need to make money. I get that. But are you inspired by the goals that you've written down to the point where it doesn't matter if one person says yes or no? It doesn't matter. There's 8 billion people out there. You just need to help a few. Don't be desperate. Now, write this down in your notes. No second chance. Don't let them off the hook. Someone texted me this morning and said, Wayne, I can't be on the call recorded. I said, there's no recording. I didn't say to Roger and Ali Shahada, you've got to go, oh no, listen, I hung up on them. Are you serious about doing this? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, here's what you have to do. As leaders, be driven by the things that have to happen to lead someone to success. Gresh made a decision. He sends me a text, put down that knife, Karen. I mean, seriously, don't hold that knife up at me. Show me that knife. That is a serious knife. Okay, all right, put it down. Thank you very much. Gresh sends me a text this morning, and I looked at that and I said, a tough decision that he had to make for the decision that he made, but the decision that he made was because he was driven to get to the next level, and nothing is going to get in his way. Write this down. Any distraction that gets in your way for the next 12 to 18 months is robbing you of your future. That's inspiration. Oh, no. You know what? No problem. Get on the next call. No. Next Tuesday night, you can't be on it. No problem. We've got one on Thursday night. No problem. No, you don't need to come to this event. We'll have one in another year's time. Could you imagine as a leader in your business, what are you leading? You're going to lead a pack of people that are just going to give you excuses time after time, and you're going to buy their excuses. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Open up the sieve. Let the gold dust come through. Let the dirt fall through the sieve and look for the nuggets. Be that person that's driven by the inspiration for where you want to go, and allow your vibrational level to attract the people that you need in your life. Here's what I want you to do. Just ask the universe. Just ask the good Lord that you believe in. Meditate on it, pray on it. Think about it. I'm looking for this. I will attract that. I'll have this. This is my destiny. This is what I'm inspired for. If that's not radiating through you, you're going to be attracting other things in your life. And you guys know where you're at. I know when I'm wishy-washy. I know when I'm wishy-washy, and I'm very self-critical. I know when I'm wishy-washy, but I also know when I'm on. And here's what I want you to write. Turn myself on. Turn on. Turn on the energy. Turn it up. Kim Broemer would say, raise the thermostat of your expectation for what wants to come. Be inspired for what is possible. Gee whiz, get the job done. I don't want to have these conversations Saturday, May 18, 2025, and we don't have 55 people, 50 new people going to the extravaganza in Hong Kong next year. We've got 1 year to get 50 new people in our organizations to extravaganza in Hong Kong. I mean, let's be inspired to say, let's create a new room of people in our organization to come to Hong Kong. Or, oh, well, I'm thinking about going to Hong Kong. Yeah, maybe it's a year away. No. A year is like this. You ready? Ta-da! A year's gone by. And the older we get, the quicker the years go by. So, Kim, I want you to cast your mind back, because I know I'm talking to a different Kim today. But I want you very quickly to sit for 30 seconds and put yourself back in Indonesia when you were going and blowing, doing different cities every day, getting in the car, seeing new people. You were driven. You were inspired to build the business. You had momentum. That energy. Tell me about it one more time. Recreate it. Recreate it for us.
Recreated. I was let me just go back. I'm going to tell you here's the truth. I'm a Get Team member. Okay, before I went to Indonesia, I'm a Get Team member, running around about 65,000 volume. I have millionaire team members underneath me in my business because I always drove lines. I drove a very deep business as a Get Team member, a very good check, but I had millionaire team members underneath me. And I just needed that one more, that one person to just get me across the line from 67 to get over 80,000 volume. And when Indonesia was opening up, it was, hey, I know Faisal will be the one. So my whole goal was to go over to help Faisal. And I lived with him, I arrived and I said, okay, I'm here. Woke him up in the morning. All right, we're going to have a shake, have our vitamins. Okay, who are we going to see today? And through that whole process. And then I had to get out of the house because he wanted me to stay there because I had to find new people because if I don't do my volume, I don't get paid on this. So that one person in that first month got me across the line for Millionaire Team. So the next 90 days, I was a Millionaire Team member. Now, I continue to do that because I had how can I put it? Before I went, I'm going to be very vulnerable here. Before I went to Indonesia, I prayed, because I've been trying to do it myself. And I said to my Lord, Lord, I'm just going to put it in your hands. I'll just do whatever you want me to do. I'm going to, I give it up. So I gave it up. Okay. And I said, I'll just do whatever you put me in, I'm there. I'm going to just do it. And that was the whole process. I gave up the trying to push it and do it myself. It was and I had that same attitude while I was there.
Let me just stop this for a minute. This is a really important point. He relinquished the struggle. He relinquished the struggle and allowed the inner wisdom and the greater universe to deliver, and he became buoyant in his pursuits for what was available. Letting go and saying, I belong. I'm leaving it in, I'm going to just brand it as the universe's hands to say, I'm just going to go with this. Guide me as I'm a child and I'm in your, I'm leaving it to the universe. Is that fair, Kim?
Yeah, look, absolutely. Not to the degree of not, doing what's necessary. I know that, look, a lot of my Muslim friends go, inshallah, it's in God's hands. Hey, I spoke to God this morning and he said that you're going to be here. So, I mean, I still went for it. Because I was on a mission, basically. I had let go. I became more attractive, funnily enough, by letting go. And the people were,
less desperate.
Yeah.
Less desperate, more open to receiving, not radiating the desperation. I know what I want. I know it's there. I'm going to breathe and let go. And then I think it's also important, Kim, sorry to steal this, but I just want everyone to get this message that when you're open, it will be delivered, but you've got to be ready to receive. If you're not ready to receive, it's like the angel landing on your shoulder and you're going, what was that? And you just miss it. It's like that someone's staring at you and you're going, I've got my button on, they're looking, but they're not really interested and you walk past. No, but they're staring at your button because they want you to talk to them. You've got to be open, you've got to receive, you've got to do something. There's the person to hand out the flyer. There's the person that you've got to make that follow-up phone call to. There's the person who has that circle of influence that you've got to drive deep and make it happen. Sorry, Kim, back to you.
Yeah. And when I then tried to control it, that's when my business went, flat again. Nothing was sort of happening. I was still doing the things that are necessary, but so it's sort of that, let go, but you got to do the activity. You got to be, you've got to have that mission that's bigger than you, to the direct effect of helping other people, and get excited to do this.
It's safe to say, Kim, and this is so important what I'm saying, that inspirational thunderbolt hit you, so it was less confining. Okay, it was a more open feeling. The reality was the pressure stakes were off you. You weren't acting from that place of that desperation to get there, even though you wanted to get there. You gave it up, gave it to the bigger cause, just ask the universe, gently nudging you in the right direction, doing the action plan, and bang.
Yeah.
And I think we all need that. I mean, I think if we all think that we've got all the answers ourselves, I promise you we don't. And Kim, again, it was just like momentum kicked in and it just flowed. And that's one thing that we all need to get in our life, that ultimate momentum. And I get this from Gresh. Gresh goes, Wayne, I feel good. I'm in flow because the activity and it just, you overcome the fears, you overcome the stress, you overcome the draining feeling, the anxieties of doing the business. You're in flow. And if you're not in flow, I promise you, you're in desperation. And that's anxiety. That's the stress. That's what I want everyone to jump that bridge to say, I know you all want to get there. I know you all want success, but try and jump the bridge. Those two emotions can't exist together. Simultaneously, you can't be desperate and inspired. Try and say, how do I get inspiration, Kim? How do you actually get the inspiration to find that this thing's bigger than you?
It's working on yourself. It's continually reading the books. It's meditating. It's whether it's prayer, whatever that meditation is. You got to just find that. It's not an easy exercise. I mean, but it's that. Hey, even at my stance, I've lost it a few times. And the tendency is, once you get comfortable, you start to be in the comfort zone. You forget what it took to get to where you needed to go.
Yeah.
So, there's other little roadblocks and obstacles in that will, hey, I'm sorry, but there's going to be some more. Even when you get comfortable, you get to the president's team and you'll go, I've arrived, and guess what? Basking in the sunshine, you get burnt. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. The longer you're in this business and the more accolades you get, and the longer you're in the business and the more accolades you get, I promise you, I can say, Kim, where's that award? And he'll go, hang on, I put it away somewhere. I don't know where it is anymore because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? The material things don't matter. You end up decluttering and saying, I've got all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. The houses, the cars, the things that you actually accumulate, the older you get, you go, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? Okay. And that's where the cause and the mission can get in. See, for me and for you guys, our future leaders, those of you who are on this call and those of you who are going to listen to this, it's leaving the legacy in your work to allow other people to grow. I saw Kim Broemer sitting down in Thailand with some of his, president's team members, and I just said, how cool is that? If it wasn't for Kim, these kids and the children of these guys and the children of these families are living extraordinary lives as a result of some of the efforts and time we put in. And that's what we've got to try and do now. Remember this, we are angels of change. We have to be inspired by being angels of change. Not, well, we're angels of desperation. No, we're angels of change. I want to inspire you to come on our call, listen, see if you can see something within our community. If you can, fantastic. If you can't, no problem. We're going to be here. We're going to be moving. We're going to be making a difference. You know, we're simply the best. And that pitch, guys, is a lot easier to say to someone rather than just logically trying to get someone on. Be the person by example that attracts people to you when a person looks at you and they goes, you know what? I just want to be just like, I just want to be like Kimmy. I just want to be like Farhana. I just want to be like, you know, Katie. I just want to be like Roger. I just want to be like Ellie. I want to be like Paul. But you've got to be that best version of yourself first, comfortable in your own skin, to say, yeah, you know, yes, come on board. Yes, come on board. And that's why Kim and myself, and probably many of others, constantly work on ourselves to say, am I the best that I can be? And if we're not, guess what we do? We come back, we lose another 1.5 kilos, we get back in the gym, we smash the products, we do whatever it takes to get ourselves back on track, because we're humans getting on and off tracks, going up and going down, but we recognize it. But we're inspired to get back to be the best versions. And that's a continual journey. Kim, over to you. I'm going to let the dog out.
No worries. It's also, you know, sometimes even coming back from an event, okay, like we've just have, hey, you know, I see some people and I go, oh, heck, I better get going, you know, because we're looking at other people and they're moving faster than we are, or they've moved faster than we have. And we go, and that sort of puts again pressure on us, and we start to go, oh, and then we start to get into that desperation move. Hey, we all got our own journey. Don't look at what other people are doing. Don't worry about whether they're moving faster than you. We've all got our own journey. We don't know what's going on in their lives to get to wherever they've got to get to. So it's our journey, and all that we can do is just the best we possibly can. And then tomorrow do it again, the best we possibly can, and just do it again. And one of my favorite videos I've just watched, 15 minutes, I might put it up on Healthy Living, from Mark. And he says, just do it one more time, just one more time. And, you know, the 10-10-10, you know, the 2 new soups a month, this just one more time, because it'll get you a new tab team line anyway. So I'll put that up on Healthy Living.
I think, Kim, the saying is this also, and I kind of like listen to you with the comparison though. Don't feel like you need to do it. Don't feel like you need to do anything. Feel like you're inspired to do it. There's a difference when you radiate a neediness. Oh, you're so needy. No, you're so inspired. So inspired. You know, it's difference between being needy and being inspired. Okay, really, really important. Kim, we've been going for 1 hour. I think we've covered some good stuff here today. So maybe we can get some notes. Before we do stop the recording, maybe you've already stopped it, but don't if you haven't. I'm just going to go around the grounds really quickly. I do want to go to Kimmy and Farhana. You've got back. It's been, what, almost a week since you've been back? Feels like it's been a year since I last saw you already. How quickly does time go? How are you feeling? You know, how was your flight back? What's happened since you've been back, you know, back in Malaysia?
Yep. I mean, as you know, we all know, you know, coming back from event, you get that inspiration, and you know, we brought back that inspiration to our team. And for myself and Farhana, actually, the best feeling for us is actually we get to bring a person to the event. I mean, I wish we can bring more, but the previous year we only went, you know, by ourselves. And this year we brought somebody to the event, and he got inspired as well. He's sharing that to the people around him. So just look forward to bringing more people to the next big event. Absolutely.
And I know some of you guys have been putting up your commitment forms. Just talk to me about that, Kimmy. What did you actually sign and post up? What was that commitment form?
Oh yeah, yeah. For myself, I put that was the Eric Worre form. You're talking about that, yeah? Yeah, I want to gain 5 kilos of lean muscle, and then I put I want to bring. I know it sounds crazy, but you know it's possible. 50 people to the next extravaganza next year in Hong Kong, and then to qualify Premier League in August this year. And to what we call it attend the get back from call Zoom call, which me and Farhana, we did that for our team. So yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And I know that form's designed to keep you accountable. So that's really exciting. Farhana, what did you get out of the event?
Okay, so I met a lot of people. And then when I got back, every day I have my to-do list. But somehow after listening to you today, I started thinking, wow, this actually like make me feeling that I need to finish it instead of get inspired. Sometime at the end of the day, I was like, oh my God, I still have 2 things to do that I haven't finished today. So it got me feeling very pressured, even though it is late at night. I just go and do it anyway because I want to tick that off. So I've been doing that every day now. And then one more thing, when I got back from extravaganza, I actually got heat rashes from Bangkok. Yeah, and then what happened was I documented that and I resolved that with our soothing gel. So people have been asking me now to buy that our aloe gel because it cured me within 3 days. Yeah.
All right. It's crazy. I mean, the more products are used, the more money you're going to make because you just believe in it. Gresh, I'm going to go to you. This wasn't your first extravaganza, but I think you had more people at this event than you've had at any other event.
Yeah, no, it was a great event. For me, it was about seeing my people learn and seeing them open their eyes and building the new connections, which was great. But for me, Herbalife's a big family, and to reconnect with people I haven't seen in a year. Like last year, we went to Singapore. That's where I actually met Kimmy and Bahana for the first time, which was incredible. But reconnecting with all my friends from all over Asia, which was amazing. And then coming back, like it gave me a clear focus. Like me and Daniel have really linked up and we have an accountability group, and every day we need to connect with minimum 5 people. But now that's coming a little bit too easy and we've increasing the numbers. But yesterday I got a little bit too busy and I was off. I didn't do it. And then Daniel texted, you got to do it. So then I only got home at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So long story short, I made it happen and I got it done and then I sent it through. So it's good to have that happening. And as well as that, we also do 3 times a week, we're doing flyers. And as a result of that, I also got I'm happy with the number that is coming to the LDW as well. So momentum is definitely kicking in. And it's not just about me, but it's about the team, but doing it together rather than just about me, which it used to be. But now it's more about let's do it together and let's grow together.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to lead from the front. I mean, at the end of the day, if you say go team go, I think it's different. Remember Rodney Droy? I'm going with or without you, but I'm going. And I think you've got to have that attitude too as leaders to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my Premier League. I'm going to do my 10,000. I'm going to get my new supervisors. I'm going to do whatever it is to achieve my goals. By way of example, I'm just doing it anyhow. And I'm not doing it to impress you. I'm doing it because I'm inspired by my reasons to do it. Again, all the emotions that we're talking about here and all the decisions that we're making are just things that are either going to propel you forward or they're just going to hold you back. Once we're inspired to do something, you'll find that you'll just have to get out of the way. To find an inspired person, I know some people say, I just want to be like Quentin Revere. I said, do you? Okay. And then nothing happens or some things happen or a few things. See, Quentin and some of the leaders, they're just driven by a cause that nothing gets in their way. There's no time to think about or overthink. They've had their thought, now they're in planning and action to make it happen. X amount of, Fit Club studios, or X amount of president's team that they want, or X amount of new frontline distributors that they want. They've set that down. They've set their goals, like Kimmy set his goals. I want 50 people at extra. That's set. Now, if you're driven by that goal, not saying already what Kimmy said, I know it sounds a bit, that's Larry 1, that's Larry 2, that's thinking about it, that's sabotaging yourself. No, I know it sounds a bit, all that you have to get rid of. You just got to get rid of it. I'm going to have 50 people at the next extravaganza. I'm going, no matter what, I'm going to crawl over broken glass to get there. And I'm going to grab people kicking and screaming to get people. That's the attitude that we have to have. That's the mission-driven attitude. Do you think Mark Hughes didn't have any problems trying to open up the Herbalife business? Do you think if there was some roadblocks and obstacles in his way that he just didn't say, forget about it, we're just going with, I mean, he did some stuff, Kim, that, one day over a glass of mineral water, we'll just say, my goodness, how did that young guy, with a 4, didn't finish his schooling with very limited education, just have this great big vision, great big mission, get this thing going. Incredible. Kimmy, wrap it up. What's happening? Kim Broemer. What's happening next?
Okay, what's happening next is of course, we've got our Tuesday, who we are, what we do. Pull all stops, okay? Do whatever it takes to invite people, because we have a product, showcase straight after that, so people can look at the products. And of course, next Thursday, we've got our Who We Are, What We Do, goes for about 30 minutes. Of course, those people that don't go, that are not supervisors yet, they stay on Coach Academy. And those of you that are a supervisor and above is, of course, Supervisor Academy. Okay, and that's week 3. And I'm excited about week 3. Look, and don't forget, look, the purpose of Supervisor Academy, it's a promotional tool. You got to come. You got to, hey, listen, you got to be, you can go. It's the reason for them to just do whatever they need to do to get to that position of supervisor, to be on this coming Thursday. And of course,